now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Hey, yo, everybody. Welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxler. No T-Foss on Tuesday. He will be back in the fold tomorrow. Happy to have you all with us. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Tap into that. Get your thoughts out there. There is a lot to discuss. There is no doubt about that. Red Wings get a point yesterday against the Kings. We will discuss. We were both down there last night. I'll get you some thoughts out there. I'm going to break character a little bit on it as well. My take will surprise you guys. I will tell you that. We got some Lions stuff to get into, a little bit of breaking Lions news, the Nickle packages. You know how we do it. We're going to do it. But, every now and then I like to do this thing where we bridge outside of sports just for a few minutes, everyone. Humor me, okay? Just for a few minutes, and we'll do it. But we're going to get back to it. But
Neal's going to show you how he's human.
Okay, so here's the deal. I need to know because, look, I see people with phones and they have like 50 unread text messages or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, that's like a lot of unread text messages. And Fish and I were talking pre-show before we went on the air, and he happened to see my phone sitting there and saw the unread emails that I have. So in my personal email, I have over 250,000 unread. That's nealruhl@yahoo.com, but that's my personal email. Just gave it out to everybody right there. I have over 250,000 unread emails, and I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all.
That's the only thing. I got 24,153 emojis on the email that I don't check. But if it's the text chain or whatever, I have to check it and get that emoji off the text bubble.
Yeah,
which is stupid.
Which I'm the same way.
Thing, right?
And like in my work email, I have 66,000 unread work emails.
Jesus.
But like, I get to the stuff I have to get to. You know what I'm saying? Because because I never know what I'm going to need. That's old.
But isn't the email more of like your receipt now? Because
bingo. That's a great way to put it.
It's the receipt to having the track. Whatever's going on, you send it there, because most of the emails that I get, I also have a communication on a text thread or whatever, so I can get the information in a bunch of different ways. But the email, all that for me is like receipts.
That's a great way to put it.
Right? So you don't want to lose it. There's a reason not to go in it, but I find myself every now and then going into the search bar and putting in something, and it pulls up emails from that and going, oh, thank goodness I had that here, and it was like 4 years ago. So maybe that's what it's turned into. It's text message is now the old email. The old email is now proof of purchase or whatever.
I think that's fair, because it's funny. My wife, has a work email and a Yahoo personal email that you do all your stuff for. She'll go through and I'll see her looking at her personal email, and she'll her emails from The Loft or Banana Republic or whatever. She'll go through and delete each one of them. I just don't do that. I'm not taking that time.
I just mark all as red.
Time, wouldn't it, Neal? It'd be nice to have that much time.
Which she does not. She has less time than me, which I don't get why you would appropriate some of that time too. So do you delete them, or you just mark them all as red?
I just mark them all as red
and move on.
Yeah, because I don't like all the notifications symbols, like D-Mac said, the little emojis on the phone. So,
why are we cool with it with a text though? How many unread texts do you have on your phone, right? Because that's where I am.
Yeah.
I have 0 as well.
0 here, too.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Quentin Yearling first in says, good morning, everybody. Big Play Jay with a what up, no. Lewis M says, well, we didn't get that must win, so now that the Red Wings season is over, I guess it's on to the Pistons. I want a pound of flesh for last night. No, we are going to talk about it. Detroit Dabber 3-1-3, 3 games in, and people are already saying it's a sophomore slump for Sider and Raymond. Raymond kind of floated around a little bit last night.
I didn't say floater. We'll talk about it. But
we will.
If you're going to take Lucas Raymond's NHL Red Wing career, that game last night is probably not one that he's going to take home to mom. But that's what being a pro is. But be ready, because the big test of being a professional athlete is how you bounce back. So, but to the most part, Neal, We were there. That wasn't a great Red Wing effort, 60-minute effort. It wasn't, but they did enough. They showed enough to be an NHL hockey team to get a point. That's what good teams do.
Yeah, and that's going to be the precipice of getting to my point about the Red Wings as well. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G says, is that how many unread emails you have, or how many times Dan Campbell goes for it on 4th down this year?
Well, the season's not over. Good thing we got the clock at the end of it. We're going to compare Neal's emails and 4th down execution.
Dr. Dirty D says, yeah, I'm sitting at 75,000 emails for mine, Neal. Detroit Dabber 313, I'm at 236,945 LMAO. Klomstoff says I'm at 0.
Yeah.
And this is, I've had this discussion in the past a couple years ago when I was hovering around 210,000. Like, one of my good friends saw that and said, what the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Just mark all as red. That's all you got to do.
Fascinating.
And then you don't got to worry about it. You don't got to delete them. You can still have them, but then it doesn't say 250,000 unread
But
emails.
now, like, I think though, now, DMAC, I've kind of crossed, I've jumped the shark on it now. I want to see how high we can get this thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, if it gets to 1 million, does it flip over to 0
Yeah,
again? Like, is it the whole...
Does it have enough room for 1 million?
Is it the whole Y2K?
Yeah.
No, if your Yahoo is downloaded on your phone, you have 1 million unread emails in there, it's going to move like a brick. Like, that's probably why your battery keeps dying, is because you have
That's a good-
250,000.
I don't have the notification. I don't have notifications on for it though, so
Still?
I don't like get a notification every time I get one.
But it's still got all those emails on your phone. Like, that can't be good for the battery.
They're not on the phone though, Spence. They're in Yahoo's silly little cloud or whatever. Right? They're not physically on the phone.
Yeah,
But
fair.
still, there's got to be a tie into the battery somewhere.
Definitely.
Just an extra reason.
Yeah,
no,
I
it's
I can't give you the science behind it.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling I have.
Yahoo,
It's there, man.
Yahoo's shaming you and draining your battery because you're not checking your email.
Dominator says, why do I get spam email from my bank every single day?
Yeah, me too.
Lots of Abercrombie and Fitch emails. The biggest one I've noticed, the Camp Lejeune email lawsuit stuff's going around. I keep getting those.
I get from my bank you're pre-approved for a $200,000 mortgage. I'm like, okay, nope, delete.
Check your email or go to Lady Jane's and sign up for the $200,000 giveaway.
Yeah,
Or
that's true.
You got options spending.
How about this? Mike G says, hey, Clom Sauce, I'll forward you some emails from Naked HD XYZ to get you off the 0. LOL.
There we go.
That was a funny day.
That was a great day.
Jake Wegener says, mine just says 99 plus. LOL. I don't know. I want to see how high we can get this thing. I'm never gonna delete it. I'm just gonna keep going. We mentioned though that we were out at the Red Wings game last night, and I was slumming it a bit. I was down. Like
With the common
folk.
The serfs.
Yeah, the serfs. I was down. We were. The goal that the Red Wings shot at in the second period, we were
nice.
over by there.
So you saw some action.
Saw some action, yeah, because they dominated the play in the second period. But I wanted to bring this up to DMAC. I did privately. I want to bring it up to him publicly because I was surrounded with shoot it guy. And they're on, the Red Wings are on the power play, and shoot it guy was there were multiples in my section. Multiples. Just shoot. And I'm looking, and they're in the midst of a power play, right? Like, DMAC, the requirements, the desired outcome of the power play is, theoretically, you want to work the puck from side to side to get a crease, to create a seam, to get space, to be able to do something.
Right, you have five on four.
Yeah, you want to catch somebody slipping by a step, and then you have that little lane of space. It's to create space. Why? Why do you want space when you shoot, D-Mac?
So that you have more options to where to put it, so you don't have to put it beside a guy or where he wants you to put it. When you have open, you can go anywhere you want on the net. It makes it tougher on the goaltender.
You know this,
Yeah,
man.
so it was funny to me because for years, ever since I was a little kid going to hockey, it didn't matter. I was a big Detroit Ambassadors fan. I told you I'm an OHL slappy, closet OHL guy. Used to go to OHL. I saw Eric Lindros play in the OHL when I was a little kid. I remember that to this day. Even there, shoot on the power play. Yeah, just yelling shoot. D-Mac, last night when I brought that up to you when we were at LCA, you had a prescribed response. You just said, yeah, I'm not going to shoot it. I hear you.
No, I think I said, man, I wish I was talented enough. That's like a Stevie or Sergey. They're not. They're literally, when you're telling guys that, they're ignoring you. No, they're not. They can't hear you, and the fact that they're trying to work, the power play works where they're going out there and either trying to get space to get that shot from the point with the size. I think Mickey named that third line the threesome. I love that. But you got guys like Soderblom and Rasmussen and Sundqvist out front of the net, so you're working the puck down low. Or you saw it on the tying goal with the extra man. When you pull the goal and you have an extra man, it's like being on the power play too. So you saw Sundqvist's goal to tie it up, where he worked it from the half wall down, jamming at the net, guys crashing the net. So guys have the mentality of what they're trying to do. Just like in football.
It's football. It's literally football.
It's just like it's the football part.
It's goal line football.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Are you going to play action to the tight end? Are you going to run it up the middle? What are you going to do? Now, all this stuff is you've prepared and you've planned and you've watched tape and you've game planned. It doesn't always go as planned. Sometimes, you're going to get the bad bounce. You don't sort of have it. I think that the big thing, if we're talking about the power play, is that, we hadn't got it going until we scored last night, but it's when you score those power play goals. We needed it last night. David Perron, why we brought him over here. I think I said power play. Perron, eyes are playing 19-19 is all you need, but he showed you that. So you saw on the power play goal how they worked it for him to get a shot. Great pass by Kubalik. But also, too, the different ways from a high shot out top to moving the puck down low and using the size of like the Sundqvists and the Soderbloms and stuff. So there's a game plan to it. You're not just out there winging it. You're trying to expose.
Shoot! That's all it was. Because for me,
we do it. Listen. We do it too. I do it too. I found myself when I was coaching the little kids, or coaching my son growing up, or whatever. I'd find myself on the bench, yelling that a lot of the time. I think it's just a natural reaction, right?
See, I don't. I want side to side passing because that's what cracks the armor.
You want to see what other teams do to us. A lot of time,
right.
a lot of the best teams. I mean, you bring up Edmonton all the time. You want to go watch the perfect one-touch execution, Connor McDavid's first goal of the season, bing, bang, boom, bang here, because you can't, it's the NHL. You got all top guys, but the puck moves faster than any one player on the ice.
Tammy Chin says, Neal, you weren't slumming it last night. No, and we joke, right, because I get a lot of crap all the time because I usually sit in a suite and lording over the people is what Spencer says. And actually, I was at the game last night. I sat next to Trevor James, who was Detroit City FC's coach. And you'll like this. We were just kind of talking, and I was kind of picking his brain a little bit. And he's been to a couple hockey games. He's not a hockey guy per se. And I asked him. I always like sitting with coaches out of their sport and picking their brain.
And especially, here's the one thing with Trevor James is you cannot deny the culture, the DCFC culture on and off the field, from not only the winning culture going into the playoffs, but what they play on the field, but it's everything around it and what he's built. So it's always interesting to see the mentality. I put Trevor James up there, like with the Scotty Bone, with the Steve Yzermans in his sport in this area. So it's always cool when they have a different perspective about a different sport. So
Mike G. Rule breaker, name dropping like a bandit. No, it's relevant to the story because I asked Trevor about it, because when we were sitting there and the power play in particular, because I was talking about how I like the artwork of the power play, and I said, so what do you think? You think you could coach this sport? And he's like, Neal, this stuff is moving so fast that you have a fraction of a second, and if you don't pull the trigger, it's over.
Yeah.
There's no time to get. He's like, in soccer you get a touch, and then the window's gone. He said in hockey you don't even get a touch. Like it's
you got to
instant.
know what you're doing with the puck before it gets there. It's always ahead. So in reality, by the time you as the fan are yelling shoot, that window's already past the shoot. Right.
You may as well yell, hey, clear the puck because that's what the other team's going to do.
But to the point, right, where you watch the game, and I'll use Tammy Chin as an example. She sits at the upper echelon beside Lance Luce and the Oregon, right? So you get the whole, broadcaster view of the game. Well, when you watch it, when you can see the play develop on a whole, when you can see the whole ice where you can see 10, 12 guys on the ice at the same time, you see plays develop.
Right.
So what you can see or look is like, oh, okay, guy's skating up this side, that guy's open, he's going to move it there. If he moves it across for the one-timer, he shoots it right away. That's what you're looking to see. So you can see the puck on the other side. Oh, man, if it gets over here, bing, bang, boom, one-timer, and it's gone. It's, to be like Neal?
I know it's not a one-timer.
Guardian alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, because no matter what, if you're on the power play, if you're shooting one-timers or whatever, yelling, shoot, 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 Guardian alarm
shoot!
Is your security expert for the shot. For sure, Guardian Alarm Look security experts give you peace of mind, home security, home or business, 24/7. Isn't it nice knowing that you are being backed by the best in the security business? So if you want to be part of the Big D Energy Woodward Sports family, you can, but we need you to call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
148.
Yep. Yes, sir.
148 days of flannel protection. So please give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Guy.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Sound Big D Energy sent you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Hey guys, Woodward Front Row. Yes, win front row tickets to see Detroit versus Green Bay. So to enter, record a video doing your best Dan Campbell impression. Man, or biting kneecaps, doing whatever. You tell us, so post it on IG or Twitter with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Make sure you're following Woodward Sports. We will select 3 winners. They will get 2 tickets each to sit in the front row to the Green Bay Packers Detroit Lions games. The winners will be announced November 4th. So make sure you enter today. And from what I hear, we got some doozies. Big D Energy. That's where it's at.
I've heard that as well. There's some good ones flying in already. Man, stick with the promotional ideas, man. That dude is, as my son would say, he's goated on the sticks, literally and figuratively. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter back with you. Big D Energy. A little bit of breaking news from Lions camp. I'm sure a lot of you heard this already. Levi Onwuzurike has season-ending back surgery, so he will be out the rest of the way, which is sad. A couple of people I talked to, I don't want to name drop, because I get in trouble for name dropping. A couple of people I talked to, though, said Onwuzurike has had a very, very rough go of it from a health perspective, just in terms of the physical amount of pain he's in, trying to get through it, trying to get back on the field. It's not looking good. What I don't like about this, though, D-Mac, is somehow this Onwuzurike thing has become like the poster child for the anti-Brad Holmes brigade that seems to be growing, despite the fact that you have, tangible results from him. Look, guys, he ain't going 100 for 100 on the draft picks. And as Ryan Ermanni says, I say ain't for a fact. No one does. You get through a draft, you want to pick off 2 or 3 starters. That's the way it works. Every time you draft, that's what you want to do. Therefore, you're going to miss on some, man. That's just the way it is. And hey, I getting back on the name dropping thing, multiple writers that I've talked to said Onwuzurike, teams were trying to move up into the end of the first round to get him. Multiple teams. He was a hot commodity.
He was. We took him right from out from under the Eagles. The Eagles were very upset that they missed out on him. And yeah, other teams were trying to move up to get him. So even with the back injury that was already there, or the struggles with the injury that was already there, he was a hot commodity.
Right. And I don't want to be dismissive about it, because he is a person and stuff like that, and I hope he makes his way back. But on the analytical side of it, some people aren't going to make it, D-Mac.
Right.
It's attrition. That's the way it is.
That's the way it is. And I think that
things will never be
it all hammers down, right? A spotlight, and there's a big spotlight put towards it. Why? Because of the record. Because you have 2 guys, your first rounder from this year and your second rounder from this year, who haven't touched the field yet, right? So when you have guys that aren't available, you have, you look at DeAndre Swift and you look at the guys that are injured. That's where your focus is. It's like when you turn on your phone, right? You don't see 250,000 missed emails, but somebody else who looks at your phone does, right? They're trying to break things down. The draft and the Brad Holmes thing isn't for this year. On the clock, it's for down the road. When you're that's where the knock is against him. Why does he draft guys that can't play right away? Well, that's sort of the Brad Holmes way. And with guys like this, or guys that get injured, you're not going to hit on. You just hope that you have a guy there to step up. That's what other teams do.
Yeah.
That's what other teams in the position that the Lions are in right now, that we view not as good as the Lions, are getting it done with guys that are stepping up. So, yeah, I think it's if it's consistently a problem, right? If you don't see Paschal this year and you don't see Williams and you don't hear it's for the betterment, really, these guys aren't for this year, they're for next year. And it's tough whenever you run into injuries, especially when a guy, right, when we're talking about Levi Onwuzurike, who's effective and a piece that we need on this defense, especially when we struggle. So where you struggle and you look why you struggle and you don't have guys there and they're hurt, well, where do you put the blame? Can't put the blame on a coach because the guy can't make a play. You put it on the GM who can't get him in the lineup. Unfair at this point, right? If this is a constant into next year and the year after, well, then it becomes an issue in my book. Right now, it's just an unfortunate part of the game.
Brandon Katz, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Holmes' draft picks this year will be evaluated based on what Hutchinson does. You can't miss on top 5 picks in the NFL. It's too early to tell with Hutchinson, but he struggled so far. And Brandon, I'll get with you on that. Because of the salary commitment, you cannot miss on top 5 guys. It's like paying twice, because not only do you lose the resource, now you're saddled with that contract too, to the tune of your 5th-year options, $15-ish million or whatever that number comes out to be. You do pay twice, which low-key had always been a problem with the NFL. And that hurt the Lions. The time and space where they do actually drill those top 5 picks was the worst financial time in league history that you could do it, because you're paying Stafford $58 million on his first contract. And then you hit Calvin. And then you hit Sue. And now you're screwed because all your money's gone. You can't afford to re-sign anybody because these guys that you hit were making massive, which is why they changed the slots. And now the first-round picks are more affordable. But you are right, Brandon. You can't miss. And you are right. Hutchinson has struggled. And you are right. That pick will lead the way as far as it goes. It's just, my thing is, like everybody that wants to sit there and knock them about it, where were you guys on draft day? Because 35,000 of you watched the draft show, and we read thousands of comments that day, and there was not one negative. So, No,
I mean, it's part of the deal, right? This is what building is. It's right when you're looking at some of the back. We're watching on the field. Dan Campbell, we can see he's making some bad calls, made some bad coaching decisions, right? How do you judge your GM? But it's too early. Again, Neal, it goes back to these guys are on 2 different timelines, right? You can't put Holmes and Campbell together on the same timeline, right? The clock or the spotlight's not on Brad Holmes yet. Now, Now, obviously, looking like how many guys are unavailable, and there's the injury problem, especially with the top guys that we've seen. So, if this continues, it might be something that you got to focus at. But to your point, right? Moving into the offseason after the draft, everybody was super excited about what we got in this draft, even through Hard Knocks and training camp and listening to the coaches and stuff like this. So,
I wonder too,
guys. It's his first year playing against men. Can we just give him like a year? And the fact is that I think that he was more hurt after this bye week. He was more hurt with the Washington game or whatever like that. The thing is, he's tough. He's going out there. I think he's going to learn. I think he's a football guy. And just right now, he's not making the impact that we want or expect or see from other teams' second overall picks. Right? But to me, you got to give him time. This will be a good test this week after having some time off to see if it was more to that he wasn't 100%, which nobody is, but he's at least getting out there.
Legend Killer on a WoodwardSports.com chat thread says Hutch is over pursuing and not holding lanes. That's on coaching. And then Dr. Dirty D says Hutch's top 5 dudes double teamed. As a rookie, you think rookies double team do great in the NFL, you Hutch haters? Hey, welcome to life in the NFL, man. This goes back to what I talked about before when Dave Portnoy kind of took, I don't care. Get to the quarterback. I don't care. Stop the run. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the NFL. There are Lane Johnsons across the way from you. Running backs are going to chip you, especially when you're... I honest to God think that his double team rate has something to do, Sam Flannel, and you tell me on this one. I think that his double team rate has something to do with the fact with how aggressive he is. And teams use that aggression against him. That's where those chip blocks come from running backs and things like that. They just get him out of the lane, and that's it, Sam. I mean, Sam Flannel, you called for him to be Rookie of the Year. Am I way off base here or not?
No, of course you're not off base. He is over pursuing. The offensive lines are using his strengths and weaknesses against him. And the thing is, this is a bottom line league. When Aidan Hutchinson was drafted, I think we were all excited. We all thought that he would at least make an impact on this defense. So far, outside of one half, he's done very, very little on a defense that is by far the worst in the NFL. And that's just not good enough.
But that's why he's here, though.
Yeah, but...
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's very true. But with him here, and there are other factors involved, the defense is actually worse this year than it was last year. And that is something that I don't think any of us could have even fathomed. It's not all Aidan Hutchinson's fault, but he hasn't done enough to sort of adjust and respond and rise above. I mean, I'm getting a little bit tired of the whole, like, oh, he's double-teamed all the time excuse.
It's life in the NFL on when you're an edge. That's life in the NFL.
If you're the second overall pick and you're good or whatever, you're getting double teamed, and that means teams are scheming against you, and so that usually means you're a good player, right? Teams don't scheme against bad players.
Yeah, normally.
To me, it comes to, yes, the over-aggressiveness, but it comes down to coaching and helping him realize what they're trying to do and get out of it. Also, too, you boy Charles Harris and the rest of the line, he's one guy on that unit. Right? So they got to figure it out together. This is a conversation. I mean, what are we talking about here? Of course, if he's that good and stuff like this, I mean, thank goodness he's getting double teamed and we have something to see why, because then he wouldn't just be out there, you know, running around and doing nothing. But I think this is more of the whole defensive line to figure it out. And to me, going into the bye week after 5 games, the coaches aren't putting him in the best position or helping him, or they need to come out and say, we've told him, he just can't grasp the concept. I don't think that's it. I just think that it's a new game, dude. And plus, the amount of football that he hasn't played from being injured, and we all look at last year, but that's men amongst boys, right, in his last year in college. Trust me, I know last year in junior, it's men amongst boys, and then you got to figure out a way to adjust. So, again, it's more of a team thing, and I think to me, I look at Aidan Hutchinson because he's tough, his motor, but somebody's not communicating and getting across to him, right? Explaining to where he can understand, because he's still doing the same things, and teams are just, you know, doing the same things against him. It's like going into not doing second half adjustments. Great teams in this league adjust to the second half. Right? To props to you, Sam, because I think that, you know, we saw that especially in the Penn State game, but that's what Michigan's done, so much. So I'd like to see the Lions follow suit.
Legend Killer
Help
says
them out.
Jacksonville's draft pick isn't doing ish either, but we don't talk about that. Well, Legend Killer, number one, I mean, he does have a pick and a sack and done all that stuff. And number two, he wasn't available to the Lions. So it's kind of a moot point.
And this is a Detroit sports network, not a Jacksonville sports network.
The one you look at, though, is that if you're frustrated, right, is Kayvon Thibodeaux, right? Because what is he doing? No matter what is he doing?
Making plays with the game on the line.
He's making those plays that we sit here and go, if Hutch made that one play in the gap against Hurts, over here from over pursuing, getting juked by Zappi. No, Kayvon Thibodeaux, forget the stats. When it comes down to it, he's not just batting balls, he's batting Aaron Rodgers' game when the game matters. That's what we need.
That's what I'm saying. And what else you need? You need burgers and loaded fries from Big Boy. Limited time only. They are there for you. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim, the chili cheese. Oh, that's a tease. Guess what else is new? It's the bacon blue.
Put it in your mouth.
Upgrade the fries. What are you doing? Don't be a heathen. Come on, you're going to get fries with a burger? Upgrade them. Chili cheese fries.
Amazing.
Baked potato fries. Nacho fries.
Otherworldly.
Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy. It is otherworldly.
Burgers and fries.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Oh, baby. We're talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can get the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Spencer Raxter's favorite, the Swedish Beauty Lotions. Oh, yeah. Visit chilipepperstanning.com. The hottest deals, the hottest bulbs, the darkest hands. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations and more on the way. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
On and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. And it's funny that, and I should have known better. I've been doing this long enough, man. I should have known better. The whole premise of the topic, again, just to let you guys inside, Levi Onwuzurike, season-ending surgery, hasn't worked out. Very talented guy. A lot of teams coveted. Lots of teams tried to move up to get him. And, doesn't look like his body's failing him, which is sad to see. You never want to see somebody go out like that. Then the other part of the topic was supposed to talk about how Cominsky and Paschal are possibly playing this week against Dallas. And what happened?
What about
the lightning rod struck.
It's all about Hutch.
Like it always does. I did initially want to do
Brad Holmes' fault.
The nickel packages.
Yes.
But I'm not going to do that right now.
Okay.
Because all right, then let's get it. Obviously, there's an appetite for it.
There is.
So let's have the discussion. Because you, D-Mac, said some people in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread were talking about Thibodeaux and what he's not.
A play. The guys, my whole point is he hasn't made a play and been impactful until it matters to win the game. It's only got to be impactful. Kayvon Thibodeaux's proven with the Giants that whatever he's not there, then all of a sudden when they need him, he's there to win the game, right? So for whatever's going on, that's what we need out of our defense for whatever reason there is. That's the whole point. When it comes down to it, to win a game, hasn't done crap, doesn't have the stats, doesn't do whatever. But when I watch the last play of the game and they're winning, and it's a defensive play, there's 5.
And there's
for
a
the
strip
Giants.
sack on Lamar Jackson with all the chips in the middle of the table. You know what I'm saying?
One play a game, that's all you got to make. One big play. If you make
those
the play
those are one of those
matters.
5 plays that turn a football game. And that's what, like, Sam
So
Flannel,
they got 2 wins, the Giants. And I know we're talking, but he's made 2 plays. And they
those
got
wins.
2 wins.
Yeah. And that was the thing that Sam Flannel talked about, the swing plays. Those are swing plays, man. And that's how you measure success in this football league. You just do.
I mean, those are the type of plays that you cannot say for certainty that the Giants would have won those games without Kayvon Thibodeaux on the field. That was a big-time pass deflection on Aaron Rodgers in the red zone. That was a big-time sack fumble when Lamar Jackson and the Ravens still had a chance to go down and take the lead, and Kayvon Thibodeaux made those plays. And just another thing, one of the reasons why we're also impressed by Kayvon Thibodeaux is the fact that he's making plays on a defense that is ranked, I believe, 8th in the league in scoring. And Aidan Hutchinson has often struggled to make plays on a defense that is dead last by a mile in the defense in scoring. I'm not saying it's both, all the credit goes to Thibodeaux and all the blame goes to Hutchinson. I'm just saying that is something. And as NFL fans, we see that. And maybe there is a little bit of FOMO with Kayvon Thibodeaux. I don't blame you if you have some, honestly. He looks damn good out there.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Spencer put it up there. Will Brad Holmes regret taking Hutchinson over Thibodeaux? I mean, let's have the discussion. Let's talk about it so far.
No. See, I still believe, can we just give this kid some time, right, to learn, to
FOMO's a great term, though, that he used, because when you see this going on around you, you're like, that's what I wanted. That's what I thought I was getting.
That's what I thought I was getting.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was getting.
Here's the one thing, right, with Hutchinson. He's got the intangibles, right, that I want. The toughness and the motor, right? Now we got to work on the football acumen. We call it hockey IQ, the football IQ. And he's got to get smarter if he figures it out. What makes all the best defensive ends, the best pass rushers, right? They got different moves. You see it every weekend. Go watch a game or watch replay when guys don't get sacks. They're still trying their moves every time, setting guys up. We've heard it many times. Hutchinson's got to develop moves. To me, I think it's just, for him, he's not comfortable. He's not comfortable into who he's supposed to be. But I believe with his talent and his work ethic and everything, Neal, that at the end of the day, he will be what we think he's supposed to be. It's just early on, how many guys can come in and make an impact, right, going from playing with men to playing for boys to playing with men? Not very many.
Kayvon Thibodeaux.
What?
Kayvon Thibodeaux did.
No, for one play.
and you know what
times.
it is, too?
But to Sam's point, too, right? Sam's point to the argument of it's a team game, not an individual game. So to your argument of being the eighth best scoring defense for the Giants, so he's surrounded. And it seems to me what Brian Daboll and the Giants is, it hurts us because we're supposed to be better than them. But when it comes down to it, that defense tightens up and they're all on the same page and they make it tough, even for the best in the world. They Aaron Rodgers and even sacking Lamar Jackson.
And that's what it is. That's, to me, and look, you guys know this about me, right? To me, that's what makes it pop. It was Aaron Rodgers in Aaron Rodgers' time where we've seen him destroy us repeatedly. It was Lamar Jackson, who we watched last year, destroy us when it all came down to it, with unparalleled athleticism. A former MVP, Rodgers, an MVP of the league. He didn't care. He got the job done. We can talk about it. You can justify it. You can explain it away all you want. At the end of the day, when everything was on the line, when all the chips were in the middle of the table, Thibodeaux delivered. And you can't argue that.
Hey, Thibodeaux just said, not on my watch.
Yeah.
Just another quick point. I know a lot of people are going to point to the Giants' defense is better, but Leonard Williams has missed some games. Azeez Ojulari didn't play in the last 2 in which Kayvon Thibodeaux made
by
winning
injuries,
plays.
Man.
But I guess that's supposed to be an
next man
excuse.
up and getting it done.
Yeah. See, I'm letting it come back to this now. So I'm going to get all worked up. When's it our turn?
Yeah.
We're going to do that again. I'm not falling for that one today.
So I just want to put it out there for the people. So far, Kayvon Thibodeaux, he's played 4 games, has 12 pressures, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble and 8 total tackles. Hutchinson, through 5 games, has 15 pressures, 3 sacks, and 10 total tackles. So it's pretty close. Kayvon doesn't have a game. Hutch has a game up on him, and as we know, all 3 of Hutch's sacks came in one half.
Yeah.
Most important stat. What's the Lions record? What's the Giants record?
Yeah, that's true.
You go.
I can't get past that, man. That cuts a lot of ice with me when you make plays that alter the course
and
of a season.
here's the point. Great point in here by DMAT 1616. Daboll's got Wink Martindale. Probably one of the best over the past 40 years defensive minds in football. Right? So, can we say that I would assume that Wink Martindale is putting Kayvon Thibodeaux in good positions to succeed?
Yes.
Right? So that he's got that going. When you look at who's his defensive coordinator, again, to me, early in the season, it comes to whatever you want, not putting your young guy in the best possible position. Because it looks like the Giants DC, he has been.
Dr. Dirty C. But Tibbs made 2 plays to win a game, so he is way better. You're a clown. What? Okay, man. Like, that Sam Flannel helped me here, bro.
I mean, to be fair, Aidan Hutchinson, when he made his big plays in the first half of the Washington Commanders game, the Lions won. It just shows how important and impactful defensive end is. And Kayvon Thibodeaux lately has just made more plays in 2 games that the Giants, probably coming into the season, I wouldn't say had no business winning, but they certainly
weren't.
No,
they had no business. I was told. But I was told they had no business winning.
They certainly weren't the favorite, and that's what you have to do. That's how you impact a game. That's how you impact winning.
Somebody explain this to me, right? If dude is a dedicated pass rusher one-on-one every play, doesn't that mean that the coach is putting him in the right position? Right? Don't you shake him off? If you're double teaming him and playing against, don't you move a guy around? How come I watch every other team move the guy around and try to get the guy loose and stuff like this? Instead, it's the same old thing. It's like the same old thing, the frustration. Let's just run the swing pass against us out of the backfield and hit the tight end and let him run 20 yards. It's the same on the same mentality. Yeah, so if you're telling me, oh, okay, but Thibodeaux gets put one-on-one and that doesn't get double-teamed, oh my gosh, you got to tell me the offense ain't thinking we got to double-team Thibodeaux. Oh, we can't now. Confusion. Isn't that coaching, Neal? Is that not coaching?
You know what's funny about all these discussions, man? And it doesn't matter what subset we talk about with this football. Where do we always end up? No matter what it is. If we're talking about Brad Holmes with the draft, if we're talking about Thibodeaux versus Hutchinson, what does it always circle back to? Always.
When's it our turn?
Well, I mean, yeah, but as DMAC always talks about, with the coordinators and the coaches, you know what? It always comes back to that, man. It's amazing. Like these conversations we're having 5 weeks into the season, going on 6. There's a commonality, and it doesn't matter what road we go down. We always end up in the traffic jam. Mm-hmm. We think we're going around it, but we're not.
I mean, I guess that's one of the consequences, though, of actually having a worse defense this year with what we thought was more talent. And the Lions' defense is actually historically bad this year, and Aidan Hutchinson hasn't looked very good. And I think a lot of that has something to do with him and kind of being undisciplined, but also the coaching. I think you got to question Aaron Glenn. I think you got to question Aidan Hutchinson. I think it's systemic at this point, and I never expected it to be this bad already. Not in a million years. Not this year.
But doesn't this weekend really just prove that? When you're looking around and you're on a bye week and then you're getting upset because other teams are doing it with less talent. So what does that come down to? If you can get the most out of less talent, what does that tell you? Where does that come from? Not a rocket science, but isn't that coaching? Right?
And DMAC, that's why, like, this weekend, this bye weekend for the Lions, I think will turn out to be, it's damaged my perception of the coaching situation with the Lions. It has, because I took a deep look at everybody else around the league, and it didn't matter to them. It didn't. Like, look at the Patriots, dude. Bailey Zappi comes in the game and starts throwing for 400 or 300-plus yards in games. Like, it doesn't matter. To everybody else, it doesn't matter. And, DMAC, I'm sorry. Like, I know you have the clock and stuff like that. We birthed this clock together, you and I. But things have changed, man. With new information.
We're going full term, Neal. I don't care. You're not getting
damn sure allowed to change your
on
opinion.
this watch. We're going full term. I'm holding you to it. But yes, it's going to be a rock. Listen, the first trimester is a rocky pregnancy.
I think your clock may be getting a C-section around the holidays. Neal Ruhl here for OddsTrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. Play-by-play updates, live scores, and most importantly, the best price from every sports book on every game. You can customize the list with OddsTrader.com. Link up the ones you have accounts with. No wasted time, no missed opportunities. You get that line moving by a half a point, you're off the number you want to do. Don't give anything away. All right, guys? Get the best number. OddsTrader.com right now will help you find your best bet.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, Uncle T, Terry Foster will be back with us tomorrow. Happy to have you all with us. And people are passionate, and I'm passionate. And Spencer put it in the WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Will Holmes regret taking Hutch over Tibbs? 77% of you say no, which, that's okay. The early returns, though, I feel like election night here with your favorite your favorite news channel going 1% of the precincts reported.
Lay off though, because right now they're on my clock mentality, right? Where we understand that it's sort of a process. So I'm happy to see that poll went that way because people are willing to let it play out a little bit more, which you have to. I mean, we're
still
the
very
Lions,
early,
for gosh sakes, right? There's only one way out, and isn't it unfair? Kids played 5 games.
Still very early.
It's just hard.
Now, here's the thing. I saw this in here, Neal, where somebody said, "Hey, Neal, if all these guys are injured and they don't pan out for Brad Holmes by 2024, how are you going to feel about Holmes then?" I can answer that for you, can I? You'll be like, he stinks and he hasn't done his job.
They cease to become a good value at that point,
right? I
was told Hutchinson's a good value right now for 12.5 sacks. That was the number, right, Sam Flannel?
Yeah, and it looks like he will fall short of that one. And one more factor when it comes to that poll, I think a lot of us, myself included, do not want to fathom the fact that Aidan Hutchinson doesn't work out and Kayvon Thibodeaux is better, because I was conductor of the hype train of let's take Aidan Hutchinson, he's going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year, and right now he's behind in the race. He's had some flashes.
So he's lost ground.
He has absolutely lost ground, and he continues to lose ground with every week.
Who's lost more ground? Hutchinson for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year or J.J. McCarthy in the Heisman? Who's lost more ground? 2-4-8.
J.J. McCarthy for Heisman.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because so you at some point you got to throw a touchdown pass, right?
I mean, J.J. McCarthy has no shot. I think Aidan Hutchinson with a push could, at least be in the conversation, but he has to improve and make said push. There's not a lot of evidence out there that shows that he will, though, at this point.
Hey, that's all right, JJ's Heisman campaign. That's all right. Sam Flannel has used you, and he has moved on to the next one. Blake Corum's a new apple of his eye.
Absolutely.
And Jake Moody in a pinch.
Jake Moody for sure.
Lou Grossa.
I love it. Yeah, it is. And it's amazing to me how this comes back to the same thing, though. It comes back to the coaching. It comes back to the coordinating. And there was a great point in here, and I missed who sent it, so my apologies. It said it all comes down to the fact that the Lions are losing, and even now the Commanders have more wins than they do.
Eesh. And
slap me right in the face with that one.
And the winnable games we thought we saw on this schedule, the Giants, the Jets, the Jaguars. Like, those aren't looking so winnable after all.
And it is. I think there is something to that. We were out at the bar all night in the preseason, and we got to bed at about 3:45 after we paid that $190 bar tab.
Yeah.
And now the alarm's going off at 6:30, and it's time for us to get up for work.
Oof.
And the reality of the events are setting in right now.
You're hitting snooze a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is right now. And I think all of it, though, D-Mac, and this is eye-opening to me.
Here's the question. Do you hate your spot?
Yes.
You hate your spot because you don't see any improvement? Or do we have, is there a glimmer? Because
it's segmented, though, for me. There are different spots.
So I hate my spot up in the beginning of the season. You know, very few, but other than the offense, a lot of different things. But isn't it this other segment coming out of the bye week, right? How are they going to react? What are they going to game plan because here's the thing, right? You come out of this bye week and you lay an egg and you don't show me something different either, especially coaching wise, right? Or adjustments or something, and it's the same old thing. Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of people real quick because the next 3 games aren't easy. But the next 3 games, you could make some noise for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're playing the Dallases, the Green Bays, and the Miamis. So, that's why we got to play the game. We got to play the game. And coming off the bye, if they can't make adjustments and try to figure something out and give us something different, where we see something different, and especially when we're talking about Hutchinson, putting them in better positions, then I think we are it's the old donkey in the tail. That's like pretty much the 3rd time is, dude, you got a tail. You better look.
I do think we'll see an improvement from this defense going forward, even against Dallas. Because
based on what?
If Cominsky is back and playing, if Paschal is back and playing, and if Jerry Jacobs is back and playing, I think those are 3 guys that can be difference makers on this team. I think Cominsky and Paschal will do. We saw what Cominsky did when he was in there against Washington. He was creating havoc. He was in the backfield. He was opening things up for Hutchinson. So if him and Paschal can do that same kind of thing, I think Jerry Jacobs will step in there. He'll be the 2nd best cornerback, maybe the best cornerback on our team. So you bring him in there, that's another guy. And eventually we can get that rotation down on the defensive line with guys, like, who knows what's going on with Romeo Okwara. Obviously Levi's gone, but you bring in Paschal and Cominsky, and then you can start rotating in guys like Austin Bryant, like Buggs, like Julian Okwara. Hopefully Charles Harris is back. So I think the depth part of our defensive line is starting to round out, getting these guys back. And that'll make it easier. That'll make it easier for guys like Aidan Hutchinson and Charles Harris, because they can take a series off. They can take some snaps off, so they can have fresh legs. So I think getting Paschal back and Cominsky is going to be huge for not only the defensive line but the rest of the defense.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dr. Dirty D says, Neal, you can't talk up Holmes and already write off Hutch. Okay, Dr. Dirty. Well, you can't write off Holmes without writing off Hutch. You see what I'm saying? Like that sword cuts both ways, man.
I think you brought up a great point, Spence. And here's the thing: like, Cominsky was a factor.
Oh yeah,
right, when he's in there, and I think it goes to that defensive line as a unit. And you add Paschal there too. You add guys that help Hutch get that extra breather, or maybe like the engine, the energy's a little bit more full. There's something there, but again, he can't do it all by himself. He needs a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Right. So I like Cominsky, and you're saying, and a lot of people in the chat thread were like, we realize he played really well, and he could be a big part of it. Paschal, we are assuming, but again, with him and Jerry Jeudy, live fire action in arguably a year, and Pascal's never played, so you got to give them some time. But they can't but help Hutchinson get better.
And I think, hopefully Paschal can be a guy, because he's very versatile on where you can put him on the defensive line. So hopefully that helps them move Hutchinson around, so Hutchinson can come out of the 2-tech rather than the 3-tech, because we showed his stats at Michigan once coming out of a 2-point stance rather than a 3-point stance is like his first 20 games, he came out of the 3-point stance and had 3.5 sacks.
Yeah.
And then his senior year, he was in the 2-point stance, and we know he had 14 sacks, Heisman finalist.
I take that with a bit of a grain of salt, though, because every week there's a Lane Johnson over there, not a Western Michigan Bronco, and an Iowa Hawkeye.
That's fair, but it's still, it is easier coming out of that 2-point. It gets you a better jump. You can read the ball better. Dan Campbell talked about it, saying that him playing the strong side of the field, it's hard for them to do that lined up over the tight end. It makes it a lot harder to come out of a 2-point and be effective in the run. So maybe they can put him weak side, bringing back a guy like Paschal. You could put Paschal on the other side over the tight end or something like that. But I just need, or keep Aidan strong side, but in obvious passing situations, let him stand up. Like 2nd and longs, 3rd and long, let him stand up, let him get after it.
Sure, and that's fair. And look, Dr. Dirty and I are having our disagreements about it and stuff like that. But the moral of the story is this. I was told that, and we talked about this, and I think we were all in agreement. You guys on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, I think everybody here in the room, Hutch was the, quote, safer pick. This is where my frustration is. Like, Hutch was the safer pick, I was told.
That's, most pro-ready.
Most pro-ready.
Yeah.
The highest floor, I guess you could say. That's what's frustrating about it. For me, anyway. So, that's that. And I'm not writing him off either, man. Dude's played 5 games. However, and that's fair. That's definitely fair to say. He's only played 5 games. However, it's fair to say, also on the other side, that we've seen dudes make plays. How good is Sauce Gardner, by the way? And I'm not saying he was the pick. No one here was clamoring for him. That guy is the balls, man.
He's the real deal. And the Jets' defense is loaded, though. They got playmakers. Quentin Williams, Quan Alexander, Sauce. They got playmakers.
Well, and that, what's funny? They got Sauce, and he's the one that kind of pulled it all together. It seems like.
Yeah.
Like, dude, did you see some of the slow-mo of his pass breakups?
Oh yeah.
How he closes a 3-yard gap like that, and it's not like Deion Sanders' speed.
It's the length,
and it's the instincts. Mm-hmm. And he knows exactly, D-Mac, when you had to defend somebody like Joe Sakic or somebody like that, you knew exactly how far you could be off.
Measure speed, right? Okay, so a lot of the big times too, right? We're talking power play or PK. With your PK guy and first guy you go in and you swing sort of with the center. A lot of times it's their speed. He said the Burrays, right? The McGillings and stuff like that. If you're not ahead. Right, those guys like the Federals, like they can literally get you out of position by one step. So positioning is so key.
And then you're cooked.
Is a key. So then you're cooked. So you got to make sure that your lanes are so important. The analogy to football, when you guys explain that to me, watching, there's a lot to, the power play, the penalty killing, and systems like that in hockey.
Yeah.
So you got to measure, and in the worst case. And as the rules have changed, but you got to measure properly, because the minute we see it in the NFL, just like the minute you're a half a step behind, that guy's gone.
Right.
And you can't.
Absolutely.
Back in the day, I could reach with my stick and hook them and water
and hold on for
stuff
dear
like
life.
that, or like that would be the whole thing, right? Like 90s hockey or whatever. Guy would swing your way, and I'd turn to the side, put my butt end out, lock his jersey. It's called water skiing. He could pull me around the ice. It didn't matter. I didn't have to skate. So that's the sort of different. But you have to know your individual. I had to know that I'm not going to catch any of these guys, so I had to be ahead of them.
A couple nickel packages coming up for you. We are going to get into a little bit deeper dive with the Red Wings as well after I talk to you about Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, workout in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. Tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, or the 30-minute circuit for all memberships, including fitness training. You get all of this. Just $10 a month for access to your home club. Join today in the club. You'll pass a couple on the way home. Jump online, planetfitness.com. Don't forget, we'll be out there Wednesday, October 26th, Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights. We're giving away Michigan State tickets. No word if those are Spencer's tickets, and he's just punting those out. But we'll be giving away Michigan State tickets, a 1-year Black Card membership as well. A signed Darren McCarty jersey, signed Braylon Edwards jersey. So come out and see us. Planet Fitness, Ryan Road in Sterling Heights, Wednesday, October 26th. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
At Alta Uptime, it matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a project coming up. Alta Rent has you covered. So give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Sam Flannel's last day. Marriage. The marriage coming up soon.
Hey, next time you guys see me after today, I will be a married man.
Hey, sorry, ladies.
Sorry, ladies.
You were too slow. Halloween as a married guy.
Yes, sir.
Hey, sorry, ladies. You missed out.
He's officially off the market.
He is. Sold.
Sure, they're all very disappointed.
They are, all of them. I'm sure they are. Well, we can salvage your disappointment right now. How about a Nickle package? NFL version. That means Spencer Raxter on the ones and twos.
All right, here we go. This week's NFL Nickle package. We got the first question. New York. Both teams in New York are overperforming. Both teams have young head coaches or a rookie head coach. So tell me right now, Dabble versus Saleh. Who is the real deal as a head coach? Who will last in New York?
That's I don't know. I've never had you put a question on here before,
yes.
and I didn't have a take or I didn't have an answer. I legit don't know. Perhaps if you're more of a defensive person, you'll lean towards Saleh, and he's a local guy here, so that will influence a lot of people's opinions. That we were just talking about that Jets defense. That Jets defense is built to last.
And they're young.
And they're young.
And they're young,
man.
So their identity, right? And they got the MILF killer, Zach Wilson. I mean, but look at it,
if you're looking for a swing vote, that could be it.
That's true.
Right? Think about this. You're going to put everything you have on either one of these guys or your Giants love, and it has nothing to do with their quarterback. It's all on their coach, right? And you know what?
Damn, that's
true. I think the answer is both.
Okay.
I think that what you're going to see is they both succeed in New York, because the one thing that I see, and we all see it, is they're getting the best out of what they have, and there's some coaching going on to win games, schemes, stuff like this. So I would say Saleh, just because of that defense, that's where his bread and butter is, and they're so young. So that's his foundation.
Yeah.
Right? I think you're going to see a little bit of a mix, because I think more the Giants and Daboll's doing it more smoke and mirrors now, getting through the injuries and stuff, the young guys. But that proves to me that he's a good coach. So, but my first answer looking at this is I think they're both going to be there for a while.
How about this too? The Jets in 2 years in 2024 have $93 million in cap space with all these young guys they got on defense already signed. And Laken Tomlinson's their second highest paid guy.
Yeah, he's playing well.
The doctor,
Lions legend. Yeah,
the doctor,
Lions legend. So I guess talking through it, I would probably lean Saleh. Just financial structure in that defense, man.
I feel like the Jets are going to hold up more this year too. I feel like the Giants are going to capsize eventually. But next question. The man, the myth, the legend, Bailey Zappi. Is he legit? Should Mac Jones be scared of being Bledsoe?
You know this is a big Bailey Zappi program.
Oh yeah.
You know that.
We're all Bailey Zappi.
We gave out the over on his passing yards in the bowl game last year. That's part of the get right lineage that's gotten you right 23-8. That was part of it. If you've been following it since then, you know that was it. This is a big Bailey Zappi show. You know what? Yeah, because
he went up against a great defense. He threw for 300 yards and got a win.
And again, here's where it's different than other situations. What type of contract structure does Mac Jones have?
Top. First round rookie.
Well, rookie contract.
Yeah.
So it's nothing for them to move on.
That's true.
It's nothing.
It is Bill Belichick. He don't care.
And
what
he don't
name's
give
on
an
it.
inch.
Yeah.
He don't care. So what we saw last week, what did you see? I mean, Bailey Zappi, right, could throw the ball. So if Bill Belichick thinks he gives him a better chance to win, I don't think Mac Jones has solidified this job, right? I don't think it's the Dak Prescott situation coming back in Dallas. So if Bill thinks that he gives him the best chance to win, he's proven it in the past, and it absolutely could be. I'm going to say yes. Bailey Zappi will be the new Tom Brady of New England, meaning that he will replace Drew Bledsoe. Not that he's going to be Tom Brady.
I'm just saying, like after the season's over, you could cut Mac Jones. Now this would never happen, but you could cut Mac Jones for $14 million and be done. I'm just saying, it's there. Like the tools are there, and obviously they would trade him, and they would get a good return.
Oh, for sure.
I would.
You're getting a second.
He might have 2 NFL quarterbacks there.
Is he a fit here? 2-4-8. Mac Jones.
Next up, we'll get on from that. Next up in the NFL nickel package, third question: can the Rams do enough to make the playoffs this season? They're under the gun. They're struggling. Matt Stafford is 3 pick sixes away from the all-time record, but they did get the win last week. Can the Rams do enough to get into the playoffs?
Initially, I want to say no. I want to say no for a myriad of reasons.
Yes,
but
draft capital.
I wanted it to be no last year too, because I don't care, because he's not here anymore. But anyway, with all that being said, and you guys, you've heard me say this. I always go off like the instinctual reaction is to say, no, I don't want them to make the playoffs, but they probably will, because I look through it and who you on God with? Who are you going to put it on God? You just said the Giants. Are they really a 5-1 team? Is Dallas really a 4-2 team? It's still the NFC East, man. Like there is going to be we say this in basketball circles, the analytics. There will be regression to the mean as far as some of those teams are concerned. So you look at the contemporaries for that, like, quote-unquote playoff spot. You're talking Giants, Cowboys, Packers, the Falcons, and the Seahawks. One of those teams is not like the others.
Yeah,
they'll find a way to get in.
Obviously, the winning with pedigree and stuff like this. I still have hope that they don't make the playoffs.
I mean, you can have that hope.
You know what? If the Rams, if they were a plane, they blew an engine. They got an engine blown right now, but they have enough skill and talent and coach and whatever to be able to stay in the air. But is the other engine going to blow? I mean, the biggest thing is that I always said, maybe they shut down Matthew Stafford. God forbid Cooper Kupp ever gets hurt. Then it's a wrap. But I think just pedigree and stuff, and because you named off the teams, you named off 4 teams there that
that's who's in the mix, right?
That's what I'm
we're
saying.
At the quarter pole, guys. Like
right.
we are.
So do you consistently think that it's gonna end out the way that it is? No. It's gonna end up in the
They're
wash.
gonna make the playoffs by default.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, they'll make.
They're probably 10-7, right?
Yeah, which hopefully is a 7 seed and a
they
road
get
game
in the first round.
Yeah, cool. Hopefully that's our best case scenario. So yeah, they're gonna make it. Sadly.
Okay, next up, we got who is the bigger bust so far this season? Russell Wilson? Let's ride. Or Tom Brady?
Robert Kraft's wedding.
Tom Brady, yes, who left 2 days before the game to go to Robert Kraft's wedding to a 40-year-old. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but and then this man comes in and has the audacity to yell at his offensive line during the game. Like, I get it, you're Tom Brady.
It's over for Tom. I think both of them, like Russell Wilson, even last night, and I did throw that on. Dude, that bacon's burnt, done. You can't even eat it. It's so ruined right now. But you know what? I think Tom Brady, with everything,
they got more weapons.
Listen, personal stuff. I don't care if you're the GOAT or whatever, but all the stuff that's public about his personal life and will wear on you. Whether he might, from experience, he might be the last one that it hits. But I think reality's setting in about everything else, because I'm sitting over here going, you don't got it anymore, bro. Your priority's a little out. It's like you're hanging. Are we starting to see the GOAT?
Become
hang
human.
on?
He's hitting the cliff.
right, exactly. And I'd rather see him. And it's just the way he's doing it. Yeah, like you said, Spence. It's like, come on.
You know what's funny about Brady? And by the way, it is Russ. I see our WoodwardSports.com chat thread exploding right now. It's Russ all day.
Have this guy Tom Mazaway about the Tom Brady demise.
But with the Brady thing, when you look at these pictures of when he was at Kraft's wedding, you see him on the sideline. He doesn't give the same vibe. The look in his eye, he looks like a man that's going through a lot of ish at home.
For sure.
Like, you can see it. You can see it in his face.
Yeah, 100. Especially as a man. Like if you've been a man and you've been married, like you've had bumpy stretches of road in your life. That's just the nature of the beast. And you know, when stuff's not right at home, man, it takes a toll. He looks like a guy that's lost right now.
Yeah.
And I gather all this from that picture at Kraft's wedding.
He looks broken.
100%.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. The wives, the spouses, the marital thing, the home life is undefeated all time.
Yeah.
It will always win. D-Mac?
Got one feeling.
D-Mac?
I got one feeling left. And it's owned by a woman.
Yeah.
So what's that tell you?
You know what I'm saying, man?
It always is. And you know what? It's what's sad, Neal, and I'm going to put it out there. Obviously, we've known my struggles up and down. Is that he looks like a guy that doesn't have people around him. He's got people for his health and for everything, but he doesn't have that guy
because he's never needed it. Never thought he needed it. Yeah,
the brotherhood as much to really have that conversation. That's where I'm going to break down, but I'm grateful that the brotherhood and the people that I have in my life, but to my Red Wing brothers, it's like Stevie and Drapes, the number one have always held me accountable because you lose some things, and it doesn't matter money, rings, championships. At the end of the day, we're human beings. So I just wish that.
And that's what it comes down to.
You see, he's lost. That's the lost. You
can see it.
And usually when he's lost, you can always count on football because it was always there, but it's not in the same spot, and then the kid's not being around or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it's
tough, man. It's tough.
It's coming to a head, and now we see, missing time, this, that. So, but at the end of the day, bro. Walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, you're.
Well,
what else you got to prove?
After I take the feelings out of this and all that kind of stuff and get back to the analytics of it too.
He did it to himself.
Well, it's not only that. It's just like he'll be done and then it's over. Russ, on the other hand, if they want to cut him in 2026, it's going to cost him $31 million.
Dude, that's
another tipping point.
Denver.
So you guys don't think he'll ever get back to what he was in Seattle? No. He's done so.
Yeah. That's Denver's where quarterbacks go. Now you may get an A in a group project and get carried across the goal line like another quarterback did. Real quick, fifth down.
All right, fifth down. Final question of the Nickle package. Speaking of Denver and the Broncos, is Patrick Surtain II the best corner in the NFL? He just locked down Mike Williams last night. He's locked down Devontae Adams already this year. The guy's a problem.
Nobody ever talks about him.
Yeah,
Florida State, right?
He is incredible.
They showed, and you don't, right? Here's the one thing is if you watch some of the game, I watched the second half yesterday or whatever, until you wondered, I knew Keenan Allen was, I didn't know if Mike Williams was playing, and then they'd show a clip of Surtain just blanketed. One-on-one blanketed. Do you know how? Yeah. Yes, I got to say now, right? And even more so, because would you say that spot was Jalen Ramsey's in the past or something and we've seen the decline in him, but
I feel like it changes every corner is real fickle. I feel like it
wait
changes
a sec.
every
What
year.
is the guy in Seattle? Metcalf. What's DK say about him?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet.
No, but I mean DK, right?
Yeah,
and we saw with our eyes is that he usually has single coverage too. Does he not?
He does.
He's on an island.
Oh yeah, he's normally locked up.
Ribbit,
boys. Ribbit. It's Big Frog here on a Tuesday. Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long. A Big Frog and Novi. Stop and let them know that we sent you. They'll print you one up on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today. Get your free Woodward Sports t-shirt or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
For a limited time only, All new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Time to talk about Swiss. Not mushroom and swish. Swiss. Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can save you money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket cost to insure your children. Check with Mark at Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Mushroom and Swiss, by the way, underrated combination.
Oh, yeah.
Rock solid omelet.
Rock solid omelet.
Great burger.
Great burger, for sure.
Name another duo.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Mushroom and Swiss is great.
Yeah.
Let's go down the sticks.
It's the Patrick Surtain of combo.
Yeah.
Third.
Yeah, no one, it doesn't get its due.
Yeah.
Mushroom and Swiss, man, really, really good. Plus, too, you if you cook it on the griddle or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Get that Swiss to have that little crust to it. Yeah.
That's
you
good
know,
stuff.
Spence,
Oh,
you
I know. That's good stuff.
You know.
I've chefed it up before.
Absolutely. All right, we got the pros done. Time for a college Nickle package. I present to you the venerable, the soon-to-be married Sam Flannel, the legend.
Prenuptial Sam Flannel.
All right, first down. After their amazing win this past weekend, probably their best weekend since the 90s, is Tennessee officially back as a national power.
Did he just throw?
I thought he was going to say Michigan State, trolling-wise. I was like, damn it, Flannel.
Man, look, I think college football is a better place when Tennessee is good. Honestly, it's like the Hurricanes.
Sure.
College football's better. And I knew that this was coming. And you know what? I won't say it until now. I will give you guys this. They go to Georgia and win. Yeah, hell yeah, you're back. Period. End of story. You're back.
100%.
But I think they have no shot in that football game. And in order to do it, you can't just go Texas on us all the time. You can't proclaim you're back. Other people have to proclaim you're back. Greg Campy has that quote all the time. When he talks about when you're good, you tell other people how good you are. And when you're great, other people tell you. That's the difference.
Yeah,
as long as they don't go Texas on it, I'm all right with it.
So, task at hand, accomplished, beat Alabama, right? It's sort of to me, going into Georgia, the Tennessee is sort of in the Michigan situation, and Georgia's the Ohio State. So even though, you don't think that they can win to Georgia, we're going to really find. I think Tennessee will tell us where Georgia's at, right? We know what Alabama is, do we not? We're pretty sure we know what Alabama is. We're not 100% sure what Georgia is, right? Being defending champion and stuff like this to come out of it. I think Tennessee gives them that test where we find out both things.
See, and I won't value it. Even if Georgia pounds them. This is a different beast. That's my hang up with Michigan, for real. That test on the road, man, it's a different animal in college sports.
No, I get it, but this will tell us playing it out, because right now isn't the question about who the fourth team, right? And is Tennessee? Have they not done enough so far in
100%.
Alabama? Right.
But to quote Kobe, job's not finished.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So if they are different, You'll see that this year. So, no, I think that yes, Sam on his way. I don't think totally back, but definitely on their way.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair enough. Second down. Speaking of that Alabama-Tennessee game, who would you want as your college football quarterback, or who would you rather have, Hendon Hooker or Bryce Young?
Ooh, Team Hook.
Healthy?
Yes.
Like right now in this space, or like the total package?
Perfectly healthy, starting a team with.
Probably Bryce Young. I mean,
if I could protect Bryce Young, put him right. If you can keep him upright, I would say that it's him. But the problem with Alabama is he gets beat around, gets hit too much.
And you parlay that with the million penalties they get. They got hit with 17 penalties in that Tennessee game.
If they were more disciplined, they probably win.
Now, granted, that pass interference gave me a lot of Miami, Ohio State vibes when, like, it would have been, the play had been over for a minute, and then they threw out the pass interference penalty. But whatever. Anyway, I mean, look, Hendon Hooker's a new toy, and he's probably going to get some run in that debate. But let's just take a breath for a second here. Who would you rather have as quarterback of your Lions? That would be the question.
Hooker
I would
for
ask
Heisman.
Spence loves the new shiny toy, man.
Yes,
he does. He loves it.
Said I was all in on Tennessee. I got to roll with it.
Third down.
All right. Is undefeated Ole Miss a legit SEC contender?
More legit than Penn State.
Well, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Everybody is. Look, I love Lane Kiffin. And he's done... You know, he's got some Harbaugh vibes coming into Ole Miss. He's protected them with the schedule a little bit. You know, he's done all that. Their SEC schedule kind of negotiates some obstacles. They got some tough games coming up in a little bit. But that's one of those things I gotta be shown to believe. No one loves Lane Kiffin more than me, but I gotta see it before I can believe it to be D-Mac.
No, so do I. But he's definitely, like you said, you're a big Lane Kiffin guy and stuff like this, and what he's done with that program. I don't think so yet, because really, has their schedule been all that? Have they won that game yet? And
I just looked at it like
they haven't been there yet. But he's put them. It's the old Michigan adage, right? He's taking care of what's in front of him. He's put himself in that position. There's more Lane Kiffin, Jim Harbaugh vibes, isn't there, as far as putting your team in the proper position at the right time? I see him using.
And before everybody gets all worked up, if I were Michigan, I would do it too. I've qualified that every step of the way.
And Lane Kiffin pretty much showed you that it can be done. The same way, because to me, I look at it and it reflects the same thing schedule-wise what Michigan did.
But they see now it's different, because the next 2 weeks they're at LSU and then they're at Texas A&M.
But you can only hide in the SEC for so long.
And now you know they're coming to look for them.
That's the difference between now you play out the Big Ten, which isn't, you know, it's got 2 teams in it. Right, as opposed to the SEC, you can only hide for so long.
Like their next 4 weeks are at LSU, at Texas A&M, home against Alabama, at Arkansas.
So you know what? We'll see.
Way.
I'm watching. This is that beat, isn't it? It has to be. I'm watching.
And then they wrap up with Mississippi State coming to town. There's no chance.
Same for gangsters.
That is most certainly a gauntlet, no doubt. So fourth down. Despite being one of the preeminent college football powerhouses in the nation, winning the national championship in 2016 and 2018, having one of the best coaches in the nation, why has undefeated Clemson continued to fly so under the radar despite being undefeated and number 4 in the country?
Because they are what the biggest fan base here wants to be and wants to be valued as. I legit think that's why. I think because we're in a pocket of Michigan fans, you know, to a lesser degree Michigan State fans, but we're in a pocket of Michigan fans. Clemson is what Michigan fans think Michigan is. For real. I think that. But they're not.
No.
And that's why I think we see it more here, like the disrespect of Clemson. It just kind of gets to, like, they went into the teeth of they've done everything that I expect Michigan to do. For real. They stared down Nick Saban in Alabama with all the chips in the middle of the table. They did it. Now, they had historically great quarterbacks, and that's where Dabo Swinney is greater than Jim Harbaugh. And look, everyone's going to fire up right now because I said that. Yes, Dabo Swinney greater than Jim Harbaugh when it comes to dealing with the quarterback spot and winning national titles.
Why would anyone argue that?
Is Clemson back? Right, like we had a few years where we were wondering were they able to come back? Is this the year that they've shown that Dabo again is a great coach and that's a great program? So to me, it's different. What he's done, right, is that can we agree that in the last 3 years or whatever, for whatever reason, talent-wise, not having the quarterback, they've slumped a little bit, and this year he's sort of come back into the fold.
Hey, can I cut this one off right here, D-Mac? Klompsaw says the ACC sucks. They've played doggish. They've done it over the course of the last decade. They stared down Nick Saban and won national titles.
Twice.
They've done it multiple times.
2-time national champions. Can't disrespect them.
Elite quarterbacks. They've done it. See, that's what I'm talking about, Spence. That is exactly what I was talking. I knew that was going to go that way, man. They've done it. Yes, Dabo Swinney greater than Jim Harbaugh. Sorry, guys. Even Sam Flannel has to admit that.
Well, that's 100% obvious, and I think you make a great argument, Neal. And now for fifth down, will Lincoln Riley ever lead USC back to the glory days of winning national championships?
No. We love him, right? Like, he's fun. They score a lot of points. He's my style. Like, I love it. I love 40 points a game and all that kind of stuff. Great college football. Very entertaining. At some point, you got to stop somebody.
But again,
these teams never stop anybody.
With trophy winners at quarterback, and you know what? Somebody's going to... Well, that's the spice. That's the taste, the Lincoln Riley experience.
That's it. So look at
here's the whole thing. If it's USC or it's the next place he coaches or whatever, right? Maybe winning becomes a priority, and then he tags along a good defensive coordinator.
Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Brandon Katz says Watson and Lawrence beat Alabama, not Dabo. Who got him to Clemson? Like, guys, this is all intertwined. You know what? Never mind. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. You're struggling with the stigma, I think, sometimes. Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It helps spread awareness of the fight, the stigma attached to seeking mental help. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling. If you know somebody who's struggling, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby. Talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
And I got my people, and they hang out at the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck, the home of the original football bowling pin game called Folding. 2 different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play, as well as private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine, along with multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foldingwarehouse.com.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Just cleaning up the WoodwardSports.com chat thread after our nickel packages. Your mom's favorite skater says Neal's dropping facts, not shallow facts, but facts. You guys seriously can't argue this with me, right? We're not having this one, are we, D-Mac? Sam, come get your people here.
Kids are in. Hey, can you come and pick up your kids from the house, please? Time for them to go home.
Dabo's better than Harbaugh, and it's not a hot take. Come on, guys. Come on. For now, at least. For now.
All right, Brandon, look. I know you rile people up in a WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I have respect for you because, some of your takes are very much spot on. But this one, Dabo wouldn't last at Michigan for more than a minute. He can't win without elite rosters loaded with NFL talent. Who gets those rosters?
Yeah, it's
oh my God.
Michigan gets elite rosters loaded with NFL talent.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who wins without elite rosters filled with NFL talent? Does Nick Saban not have elite rosters? Did Kirby Smart not have an elite roster? Brandon, it's okay, man. You can be wrong from time to time. You don't have to dig your hole even deeper. I said, Neal, a lot of what you say, I'm talking to you, Brandon, is very, very smart and intelligent, but a lot of what you say, just admit when you're wrong from time to time, man. That's all you got to do. Just, take a little humble pie. Like I do. You know how much humble pie I've had to take? Learn.
Lots of people around this network, man.
Yeah.
People who saying the Lions are going to win the division. People who are saying Jim Harbaugh is the contemporary to Kirby Smart. And
what Jim Harbaugh is a tier below, like a Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Lincoln Riley. He's one tier below, and that's okay for now. But if he wins a national championship, that's when you can elevate him. But he's got to do it first.
Or win a game in the playoff.
That would be a start.
Or get to more than one playoff. See, that's how this stuff works.
Yep, that would, and then you can have these conversations.
Win your conference more than once in the last decade. That's how this stuff works.
Those are the things you have to do to enter the conversations. You can't just say it right now. He has to prove it. And I'm a Michigan fan. I want Harbaugh to succeed. I believe he will get into that conversation at some point, but I don't know that for sure yet.
That's it.
Thank you.
Don't know that for sure yet. And that's why I don't have that conversation just yet.
Jack Harrington, not Adam for his Tigers are going to win the AL Central take, Neal. Those were great days. Man, I miss those days were so much fun. I'll tell you what, though, D-Mac. Last night at LCA, I got a taste of the good old days. Just a little taste, a little small segment. And I told you I was going to do this. I have a Red Wings take that is very out of character for me.
Whoa.
And especially...
Out of character, why?
Because you guys know I get criticized for this sometimes, but I think that it's led me to have, success for the most part. I get criticized for being what? Too analytical, right? Too black and white, too X and O. Not enough emotion, those kinds of things. And this is going to be kind of an emotional response, but I think it's rooted in fact. It's a little bit early to call it, but after going to that game last night where you're missing Bertuzzi, you're missing Verana.
Probably your two best goal scorers.
And Las Vegas reacted accordingly. The Kings were a minus 150-ish favorite, 140-ish to 150-ish favorite. The Red Wings clearly didn't have it. And those injuries played a part in it, no doubt. But also you saw the lines being shuffled around. But what I saw last night was what professional sports teams do. Good professional sports teams do. You show up to the rink, you don't have it. They found a way. They found a way to get a point. In no world did they deserve a point last night. In no world.
No world. Not in the game. And it wasn't like there's different times, and it was just like they didn't have it. They just weren't clicking.
D-Mac, let me ask you this, because it's disqualified. This plays into my thing. You play 81 games in a season.
82.
82 games in a season. And I've always said this. 10% of your games you got no shot in because you're just not going to have it. Every day that I go to
travel, because of back-to-backs, because of this, because of that.
You got ish going on in your life.
7 or 8 of them, which leaves you 74, 75 games.
We are. So 10% of your games, you don't have it. And I would say that's with everybody. Like if you work out a lot, you don't have it in the gym. I don't have it in the gym every single day. You got to do the mental gymnastics and get your way through it. What I saw last night, and I know it's early in the season, and I'm ready to call this right now. 3 games in, I'm ready. This is way out of character. I feel weird even saying this. They're fine with me. This year, I'm fine with. Because they didn't have it, and in the second period of that game, they dominated stretches of it. And Dominic Kubalik, could be the best NHL free agent signing in all the league this year.
Because his cap hit is...
He's $2.5 million a year. This cat's going to be a 30-goal scorer.
And he's big. I didn't know he was that big.
He's going to be close to a point-a-game guy. That pass that he sent over to Perron, that is an NHL power play.
And he missed a goal last night by an eyelash.
Right, absolutely.
Like he just fanned on it. It was a wide-open net.
This Red Wings team, I'm good with. I saw enough. 1919.
I was playing.
Steve Eisman. The offseason, we're good. We're going to be good. We're fine with it. However it all shakes out, this season's kind of a free roll for me. I want some entertainment. I'd like to stay on the graphic. I like where it is. I saw something last night that was totally different than the last 6 years of what I've seen. They didn't have it. And they had that lower talent base, right? When you don't have Verana, right?
Right.
You don't have Verana. You don't have Bertuzzi. You don't have Bertuzzi. 30 goals a game. Say what you want about him.
On the front line.
30 goals a year. That's how he operates. They didn't have it. And those lines looked more like last year than they did the last two games. Fair to say.
Right.
Fair to say. They found a way. And I know, like, the Larkin thing was incredible. And I'm happy for the team that it worked out, that they got the point. And people will point to that play and say that's how they got the point. Yes, it was a critical play. It was a Kayvon Thibodeaux type play at the end of the game that aided them in getting the point. But the fact of the matter is
such tone.
That one was on purpose. Yeah. But the fact remains that they found a way to get a point when they had no business getting a point. Derek Lalonde talked about it in the postgame last night. Said we were nowhere near good enough defensively. They got a point.
Yeah, no, and that's the one thing. That's the difference. I said it last night, is in the past it seemed like, yeah, when things were going good and going all right, we'd be all right. But once that levee broke, or you had that one goal, the domino effect, right? It'd be leading to 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we see earlier is that, yeah, you're going to run into those, hockey's game of momentum, you're going to run into those positions, but they're able to fan the flame, right? Be able to bounce back. What you see, though, in that lineup where you say that yesterday's lineup looked more like last year, but still, you look at the guys that you've added, integral parts of the lineup, right? The Perrons, the Cops. And you know what? Here, to your point, you know why they struggled last night? The Kings were 65% of the face-off circle. Mm-hmm. So they weren't good enough to control the puck. When that happens, that's a game that's going to happen. Now, when you mentioned 10% of your games, you're just not going to have it. What great teams do is those 10% of games, so say 8 games, they find a way to get a point.
To get something out of it.
They find a way to either lose an overtime or a shootout, but find a way to get a point, because at the end of the year, right, are we sitting here and I'll have them still in the let's have the conversation to win the last couple games to get in the playoffs. But as tight as Bettman hockey is, coming down to the playoffs, that 1 point means a ton. So, to me, the play by Dylan Larkin on the back check of the empty netter to thwart Arvidsson of it.
That'll be the poster for it.
That's identity.
Yeah.
That's the little stuff I'm talking about being the captain and no matter what, not quitting. Those guys don't quit. They might not have it. You know, we mentioned it earlier. That's the worst game that I've seen live of Lucas Raymond. Philip Aronik struggled, but they were able to fight.
Found a way. With all those guys
bounces,
out.
This and that. It's the NHL. And they know that. So here's the whole thing, right? They know that they got away with one. So they best be ready to play coming back. Now, let's think of the why. 3 games in 4 nights. Plus it's a travel early in the season. I mean, you're not expecting to win the back-to-back in Jersey, but you're expecting to win this. But they figured out 5 out of 6 points.
That's
what NHL teams do, right? Yeah, I agree with Kubalik, because what makes him so valuable is the $2.5 million. Right, so you're literally, the guy's going to score 25, 30 goals or more.
For $2.5 million.
For $2.5 million, $100,000 a goal. That's pretty dang good in the NHL. Right, Perron, great signing too. Obviously, what you see by the shot, the finish, everything that I've been talking about, he's going to make that power play better and up and down through the lineup. Also, too, what they have, Neal? Depth. You pulled 60, 65 goals out of the lineup yesterday because they're hurt, and you inserted not only a guy moved up in the lineup that scored, but also, too, Suter was in on the first goal.
Suter played well.
You got NHL guys. You got an NHL roster. Can we say that?
Yes.
Finally, first time is that you look at this roster and you got an NHL roster.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Clomsaw says, Hutch vibes, you prick. I don't know what. I like it when somebody calls me a prick. I don't know why.
Is he calling you a prick? Or
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, that's sort of...
I like when anybody gets called a prick.
That's fair. I had to bring up last night because I laughed out loud and I had to retweet. Because right after... And I could tell Spencer was so excited about the Larkin play that he tweeted out, he said... What'd you say, Captain Shit?
Yeah.
Captain Shit, that's going to get us a point. And I had to retweet and say, doing Captain Shit, right? Because it sounded like, when I retweeted it in case anybody that read it like Captain Shit, you call Larkin Shit, bro?
Yeah.
No.
I appreciate that.
So, not only the identity, but again, too, how it seeps down. Remember what I told you? Last year, we figured out we could score goals.
Yeah.
You saw Dylan Larkin being a point-a-game guy, right? Now it's those little things of being the captain even more and stuff like that because it's contagious. So they never quit. They didn't have it, but they didn't quit at all and didn't think that they weren't going to try to get a point out of it.
And I'm not saying, like Cody Engel's on here, he says, schedule the parade now. I'm not saying that.
I am.
I'm not saying
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, not this year, but...
Now, they did save a point, so Steve Yzerman can keep his job for another day on my watch. But I'm telling you, they lose the next game.
They're playing Chicago, right? They're going to dog walk Chicago.
Oh, so if they lose that game, then hey.
Everything's open. We have to assess the whole organization.
They're going to beat Chicago 4-0.
Okay.
No, you're right. They
stay to that. They would have lost that game last year 4-1.
Yeah,
they would have lost that game 4-5 to 1 yesterday.
Absolutely.
They found a way, man.
They found a way, just like you could find a way. You know what? Spenny's talking about dropping big money on the mortgage. Well, I got it here. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, 168 of them throughout the country. Come into Lady Jane's. Not only for an award-winning experience, you can register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the down payment for your dream home. How about $200,000? Yes, $200K. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
All right, time to talk about Mike Phillips, not former Houston Oilers head coach Bum Phillips, Mike Phillips. Thursday, October 27th, join the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show live in Dearborn. Braylon, Ryan, and Maz will be on site at Michael Phillips Keller William office in Dearborn. Braylon will be doing meet and greets after the show at 4:30, and stick around for trunk or treat in the Keller Williams parking lot at 6 p.m. Food, trucks, costumes, and more, all from Mike Phillips and his wonderful staff at Keller Williams.
We're gonna run out of Phillips pretty quick, though. I want to see.
Wade Phillips?
I like keep going. Dude,
There hasn't been Wade Phillips.
Yeah.
There hasn't been Wilson Phillips.
No.
Those are the couple of layups. But the well's gonna run dry really quick.
God, I wish Bum Phillips is our DC.
Yeah, anybody right now. WoodwardSports.com chat there. By the way, Big D Energy, we're back. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dirty South Wolverine. 3 games, no fight. WTF is wrong with today's NHL. Someone later says there needs to be a fight in the Chicago game. No, there doesn't. There needs to be goals. And look, maybe I'm the only one in Detroit, maybe the only one in America, and this runs anti the persona of my good friend and the man to my left here, Darren McCarty. It runs. I'm the only person in Detroit that preferred OHL Darren McCarty to NHL Darren McCarty. Maybe Sam Flannel might be the other one, but I'm the only one. 55 goal scorer in the OHL. You know, not like Kirk Maltby, who was mid, only scored 50 goals. Yeah. 55 goals in the OHL. I like goals. Goals win games. You want to do all the fighting stuff when you're up 5-2 with 2 minutes to go. That I'm cool with.
I kind of want to see Soderblom fight somebody. But I'm also kind of
I want to see him score a goal more.
I'm also kind of worried. I don't want
to, dude, no.
Don't want like a Mantha situation.
You got Sherrod out there giving everybody what their business to what they want. Anybody wants to step to the table, everybody in the league knows, go knock on his door.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's there, so the rest of them don't knock on the door. You know, you had to play the little snapping turtle Brendan Lemieux last night, and then, you know, some pushing and shoving, but nobody got out of hand. You're not going to really see that. You're going to see, I see somebody saying here, I want to see Perron beat up Dumba. You might see, you know, like that's the thing, specific, if guys have beef with specific guys, but don't look to this roster for fights. And plus, guys, it's Bettman hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Maybe Kubelik gets after it with one of his former teammates, somebody who's beefing with.
Who's that?
They're going to Chicago. Maybe Kubelik gets after it with one of his former teammates.
I don't know. Has Kubelik ever dropped his gloves? I mean, you're look at this roster. How many career fights are the guys that they have? You know, like other than Giovanni Smith. But that's why you got Sherrod in the back there. And other guys will do it. You know, like that's the whole thing. So it's all about more so team toughness, but don't get your hopes up.
Or do it when it's 5-2.
Yeah.
Oh, when you're up. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the. Listen, you want to know the old adage? I know that it's not deep, but in junior you learn you got to get on the score sheet, right? So you're down 3, less than 5 minutes left. You got to show you cared. So you got to, you know, so the game's out of hand. So hopefully, Neal, there's not the opportunity because we're not down 3 goals at all.
There you go.
But you know, if it's going to happen, I would think that, you know, it's a Sherrod sort of thing. You might see the other guys, but
Sherrod or Hogg. I feel like Hogg would scrap with somebody. Or Hag.
Yeah, I don't need it, and that's another
score
reason
goals. Yeah.
That you forget about, right? That there's another guy that if you watch goes about his business, blocking shots, doing all the dirty, you know, all the little things, the dirty work. So that's.
Jake Wegener, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Fights greater than goals. Oh, here we go.
That's not true. They're fun to watch, though.
And that's fine. Like, I get it.
It's part of the reason I love hockey. Is the refs just let it go. That's so awesome.
They used to.
Yeah, not so much.
I don't know. What bothers me is that I'll hear, and I had to.
Other than when people go, shoot, is that what bothers you?
No.
Fight.
I had to educate. Right? That when guys are just slapping each other or whatever, that's not a fight.
No.
When guys are pushing each other, that's not a fight. Do not yell fight and have me come in the other room because when it's not a fight.
Yeah.
All right?
Gloves need to be dropped.
And they're squaring off and there's bombs being thrown. That is not a fight.
Mittens on the ice. Mittens have to be on the ice.
Yeah. No, it is. It's funny. Your mom's favorite skater, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dan Campbell should be called Bum Campbell. So, you know, people were appreciating the Bum Phillips.
Bum Phillips is a good one.
Hey, he almost got those Oilers teams with Earl Campbell to the Super Bowl. He was a good coach and quite a character wearing cowboy hats on the sideline. You'll never see that nowadays.
No, not a chance.
People pleaser. Hockey's at a disadvantage in terms of reach because the 3-ball sports only require very simple materials, a ball and a field. Hockey's a bigger investment, hard to build a fan base in the South. It works in the South.
Very expensive.
It works in the South because of its novelty. Like the people down South, they do like, obviously, like I talk about, I go to Lauderdale a lot.
Yeah.
The Panther fan, like
Nashville,
towns like Miami and LA, those are like the games have to be big for them to go because they're big event cities. You know what I'm saying? That there's other options in January and February.
Nashville loves the Predators.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, they like it in the South. It was funny because I was talking to Trevor James about this yesterday.
Trevor James.
We were discussing how hockey, and I don't know, I still don't know, you don't know, we don't know the answer to this, how you can overcome the difference between hockey in person and hockey on television.
You can't.
Can't.
It's the biggest difference. I made a joke when I was in Edmonton, up in Bonnyville, that wow, it's nice the first time in a long time that I've sat in a room and didn't have to explain to somebody how to watch the puck on TV, and they all laughed because they're Canadian, right? We grow up to it. It's one of those things, I guess, where you grow up watching a sport or learning, a different sport. Like anybody understand cricket? Anybody? Even too much the rules of soccer and stuff like this. So the disparity, we can all agree, right? The hockey on TV, hockey live. There's no bigger end of the spectrum, correct?
For sure.
Right. So I think it's just sort of the availability, because even. So down in the South, that's where the expansion's supposed to happen. That's why it's sort of the novelty and stuff like this. But to whoever made that point, it's the expense. It's expensive to starting to play. But
what happened to street hockey? We played street hockey all the time.
Even your
generation.
Hey, does this make sense? Look at how much sticks are. Remember we used to have wooden sticks, or the B1 you go buy
$15
for $10,
Yeah.
$5, whatever. Now you got to use one of your real ones that people are paying like $150 or $200.
Not shitting.
I don't know. Maybe it's the video game thing that kids are on Madden or whatever. But you're right, Neal. We played ball hockey. That's where I learned how to fight.
Oh yeah.
Being like 10, 12 years old, fighting 16, 18-year-olds playing ball hockey. That's how there's fighting.
Were you winning 5-2 in those games when you got in those fights?
Probably.
All right, then that's fair. Then go ahead. Then live your best life. Go ahead.
Me and like I said, I got 3 older brothers. There's 2 guys that lived across the street, 2 guys that lived in another house across the street, and then a couple guys down the street.
Yeah, we had the same setup.
And we had a ton of wood hockey sticks. We'd go to the tennis courts.
Here's a great question. Wayne's World. Opening scene. Car. You do that today, you show that to kids, they won't know what the heck you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
What are the guys doing out there? Why are you in the middle of the street?
Yeah, it is. It's sad to see what happened to street hockey.
We even had nets. We had nets too, which is sweet. We bring the nets out and put them in the street.
My dad made nets out of sawhorses.
Yeah,
with chicken wire.
Oh,
it was awesome.
Hell yeah!
You'd score and it'd pop back out.
That's
oh
dope.
my god, it was absolutely awesome. A lot like Cintron. Cracked one open at the Red Wings game at LCA last night, as a matter of fact. Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They've combined all 3 of the delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. So why wait? Try it. Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, sugar-free, all-in-one convenient pack. Okay. You can pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
And get dope like me.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Hey, Summer's gone. Did you pack on a couple of LBs? Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 pounds or 120 pounds, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly. Most importantly, guys, safely. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com or give them a call, 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-8446. Custom Health Centers. Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network show flying by. And as it always does. And happy to have you guys with us. Appreciate y'all tapping in, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Somebody said, click that like button on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread if you remember Bum Phillips. So I think that's pretty good. If you remember Bum Phillips, give us Phillips suggestions, too.
I like this one. Your mom's favorite skater. Guys, I have a great day. I got to go to work or I'm going to be unemployed like Scott Frost. See you tomorrow. And I said, well, if you were unemployed like Scott Frost, you would have got a payout. You wouldn't have to go to work.
You'd have $14 million. They would pay $7 million.
That's a smart unemployment.
Can we revisit this for a moment? Can we not let Sam Flannel? I'm tired of everyone around here getting off easy for these bombastic claims that they make, and they never have to atone for it. They never have to pay for it. Sam Flannel looked you in the eye, and told you Nebraska will be back this year. They'll win 10 games. Scott Frost is great. They paid him they could have waited 3 weeks and saved $7 million. They said, no, get this bum out of here now.
Bum Phillips.
Yeah, not Bum Phillips, the bum Scott Frost. Get him out of here now. We'll pay the extra $7 million to get him out of there. Sam Flannel, we have talked about it. We've talked about Adam proclaiming the Tigers would win the division. They almost lose 100 games. We've talked about Ryan Ermanni saying the Lions will win the division. They're 1-4. They have the 3rd overall pick in the draft. You have skated on this Scott Frosting. Now, I'll give you this. You do service accountability to it. You admit how bad it was. But do you think you paid enough of a price for how outlandish that was?
Maybe not, but I feel like I pay my debts more than almost anybody here. And I think everybody watching will back that up. I never, ever double down when it doesn't benefit me anymore. And obviously, Scott Frost was a massive failure. And low-key, was it one of the smartest moves of all time to just lose to Georgia Southern so they would fire him and have to double his buyout?
I was thinking the same thing.
Did he dump? Do you think he dumped?
I think he dumped.
AC says Ryan Ermanni needs to be held accountable. How about this? And I love this when you guys do this. And this has nothing to do with what we've talked about, but I do think it needs to be addressed because I talked about this on the way home from the hockey game last night. Jay Thomas, Justin Herbert is 19-19 as a starter.
It's not his fault.
But Derwin James, dudes come on, man.
His coach is pretty trash, but they do have very good roster.
Do you remember 4 weeks ago when the coach was celebrated?
Yeah.
4 weeks, things changed quickly on Justin Herbert, did they not, D-Mac?
Yeah.
I'm stunned to read that.
I think he's hurt. I think he's still hurt. And remember, he was supposed to miss and
broken
ribs.
He
played through it and stuff like that. He just didn't look the same to me last night. I'm not worried about him, though. No. Watching Russell Wilson just put a fork in him.
He was playing a great defense too, without his best option.
Like to me, if you watch the game, Justin Herbert to me looked like he was 75%, 80%. So to me, I don't put too much stock in that.
Real quickly, Dirty South Wolverine. Who listens to Sam Flannel? That's why he's in the booth. It'd be like me listening to a landscaper.
Wow.
Damn, man.
I listen to you, Sam Flannel.
I appreciate that, Spencer. And it's all good. I can take it. They still let me speak on the air. They still give me a microphone.
No,
so until
I think you're going to sit there. We're going to sit you out for the next week.
Oh, yeah, because I'm in trouble, right? Just so happens to be that I'm getting married, so.
No.
You won't have to hear me for a while. Congratulations. Enjoy.
We're going to put you on timeout, Sam.
Absolutely.
Put you on timeout.
Appreciate everybody tapping in to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. For D-Mac, for Sam Flannel, for Spencer Raxter, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Go Blue. Will Neal Ruhl be held accountable when Michigan wins the Natty? Sure. Well, see you later.